you do buy things that you maybe see on Instagram or online with the best of intentions, but then you never actually end up using them. Today I'm going to be showing you my top 10 things to buy as a new teacher. I remember unloading my car on my first day setting up my new classroom. This is my one. It says Miss Ross's teacher stuff on it. Here is mine that I was very kindly given. Something that was a big success in my classroom so far have been cushions. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Miss Ross here. If you didn't already know, then I am a Scottish, recently qualified primary teacher. I like to make lifestyle videos and videos about my experiences as a teacher. Last year I completed my NQT, or my training year. I would definitely say that as a teacher it can be really tempting to buy lots of things for your pupils and for your classroom. Sometimes you do buy things that you maybe see on Instagram or online with the best of intentions, but then you never actually end up using them. Today I'm going to be showing you my top 10 things to buy as a new teacher and sharing from my experiences the things that worked well for me that I definitely used. I think my most important tip would be to wait. When you're about to enter your probation year with your very first class, it can be a really exciting time and you just want to have this amazing classroom, and it can be so tempting to go out and buy loads of things. I was really desperate to go to IKEA and do a massive haul and buy all of these exciting things. Wait and find out the stage that you're going to be teaching in, and wait and find out what your classroom is going to be like. The amazing space that you might have in your head for your future classroom might not be the reality of the space that you actually have. For example, I wanted to buy this amazing book trolley or like bookshelf for my own little classroom library for my first class, and it ended up that I was in an open plan classroom and there actually was the school library outside of my classroom, so pupils could kind of free flow out to the library, and I ended up not actually needing that for my classroom. Definitely resist buying things until you've seen the space, and sometimes as well wait until you've gotten to know your pupils a bit better. I had loads of different ideas for, you know, like the behaviour reward system that I use in my classroom, and I definitely got a bit of a shock when I had my very first class. It's really important to get to know your pupils first and get to know what's going to work for them before you start investing in loads of expensive items. My second tip would definitely be to not get too attached to anything that you buy to be used in the classroom, because accidents happen. They're going to be used by a lot of different pupils. If you are thinking of buying a nice stationery set or something to be used in the classroom, then do not get too attached to it, because the chances are it will probably get broken, pieces may get lost. Some of the things in here are things to buy yourself as a new teacher, and some of the things are things that you can buy for your classroom. I feel like the items I'm going to suggest to you today are practical things that you can definitely make use of, you know, that won't go to waste, and things that you'll definitely use no matter what type of classroom you're in. So let's get straight into the video. Okay, so the first thing that I would recommend new teachers to buy is some sort of teaching bag, something to carry all of your stuff around in. If you watched my what's in my teacher bag video, you'll know that I prefer to use a backpack for school, but I know that lots of teachers prefer to use handbags, so that's really just down to personal preference. But something that I actually got as a gift before I started my first teaching job was a massive tote bag. This is my one. It says Miss Ross's teacher stuff on it. It is absolutely massive, and it's just really good for carrying all of that extra stuff. I remember unloading my car on my first day setting up my new classroom, and I don't know how many trips I had to do, but having a big bag like this was really handy just for shoving all kinds of things in and carrying them from the car park to my new class. But also just during the week, if for whatever reason I had marking to take home, or if I wanted to take a textbook home, or when I'm carrying my laptop to and from school, it's really good to have a big kind of hold-all bag so that you don't need to be carrying too many different bags going into school in the morning. I must admit I don't often take my marking home, but in the first few weeks of my probation year, before I got into a really good routine, that was something that I did quite a lot. I took home a lot of my resources and things like that. I was working after school quite late every day, so it was really good to have a bag like this. You can order these online from loads of different sellers, things like Etsy. Even just the big Tesco bags for life are really handy, and you can actually get some really nice canvas bags. I'll insert some pictures of the types of things I've seen online. I've also seen teachers with those little like trolley dolly things, like the things that air hostesses have. Just again, it makes it so easy to carry resources to and from school. Number two is a really important one, and something that I wish I'd been more organised with at the very start of my teaching journey, and that is invest in some storage for your classroom and your resources. I would even say this is something that is really important to do while you're at uni as well, because when you're on placements and things like that, you start gathering a whole load of resources. Something that I bought that I use for storing all of my different resources and things are like the big plastic container bins. I think I got mine from either Home Bargains or B&M, just the absolutely massive ones, because I have so much stuff. If you guys have watched my other videos, you'll know that due to the whole COVID situation, I wasn't actually able to get a permanent job after my NQT year, and at the moment I'm just working a temporary contract, and I don't actually have a class of my own because I'm working between a few different classes in the school, so I don't have a classroom. So a lot of the stuff that I bought for my first classroom during my probation year is currently in storage in my garage. Those big boxes have come in so handy for storing all of my stuff temporarily until I get a classroom of my own, hopefully in the near future. Something that I also bought for storing like resources and bits of displays and things like that were these big kind of Ziploc pockets that I got from Amazon. I will insert a picture here so that you know what I'm talking about. I think I've also talked about these in previous videos, but those were really good. They're colour coordinated as well, so I put resources for lots of different subject areas into those, and then I also put them inside the big plastic bins. But in terms of actual storage in the classroom, other things that I would really recommend buying, containers for like pencils and things like that. There are so many different ones available online. I've seen cute little pencil pots that are actually shaped like a pencil. I know lots of teachers have had those. You can get some really practical ones that have lots of different compartments in them, and also B&M, Home Bargains are your go-to stores for things like that. Think about where you're going to store the jotters in your classroom, and again, that's going to depend on the actual space that you have. The classroom that I worked in last year didn't actually have like a bookshelf, but I know that others do, and that's where you can store your jotters. I actually had a windowsill that ran along one side of my classroom, and I ended up having to invest in big box files. So those are really good to have, and you can obviously label them for lots of different subject areas, for different jotters, and that just means that for anyone coming into your classroom, everything is nice and organised. I've seen some teachers with big kind of cardboard style boxes that they've used. Some classrooms have cupboards or drawers, so you want to plan how you're going to organise your space. Are the pupils going to be able to access the resources independently? Are they easy to find, and are they clearly labelled? Under that organisation and storage heading, something else that you might want to buy yourself is a teacher toolkit. Here is mine that I was very kindly given by a teacher friend, and you can buy these from lots of different hardware stores and make your own, but I think also I'm sure Etsy and things like that actually sell them if you just want to buy a ready-made one. They just have lots of different drawers where there's lots of bits and bobs that you might need as a teacher, and you can keep that on your desk just to keep yourself organised. I know that something I found very handy was having a little drawer of hair baubles, because for PE and things like that, glue tack, push pins, all of the little bits and bobs, and it keeps them nice and organised rather than having them all just shoved into one drawer on your teacher desk. So that's something that I've actually really missed having in a classroom of my own this year. I know a lot of new teachers really enjoy making these for themselves, so if you're looking for something to do over the summer before you start your probation year, then I would really recommend that as a little project, and it'll be something you can use for years to come. Okay, the third item that I would recommend for new teachers to buy is a lanyard. Something that I didn't really enjoy about being a student at university was the fact that I didn't have a fob to get into the school building, and I would always have to rely on other people to let me through the door. I don't know how many cold, rainy mornings I'd be standing at the front entrance waiting for somebody to let me in. So that was something that felt like a rite of passage when I started my probation year. Again, this is something I've talked about in videos before, but the lanyard that I currently have is one that my boyfriend got me from Etsy, and it's actually personalised, so it says my name. You can get these in all different colours, shapes and sizes. A lot of the teachers that I follow on Instagram make their own lanyards. I know that the little clay ones are really popular right now, so definitely get onto Instagram or Etsy and have a look around and see what other people are wearing. I know that when I've been working in the past as a supply teacher, and when I'm between classes in my current school, it's actually really handy having your name on your lanyard in case any of the pupils forget, and it's just really cute and makes you look a little bit more professional, so definitely recommend having a look and finding the right lanyard for you. And something else that I'll add to that has been especially important during COVID times is my little hand sanitizer bottle. Again, you can get so many different sanitizer bottles online. This little holder that I got was actually from Etsy, but I know again you can get these types of things from B&M and Home Bargains. I'm a little bit flamingo crazy, hence the flamingo design. I know quite a few teachers that also have like pins to put around their lanyard as well. Something that is just a really nice thing to have as a new teacher. The next item is something that is really practical that I would definitely recommend for new teachers, and that is a teacher planner or an organizer. And again, this is just going to be down to personal preference. There are obviously so many different gorgeous designs online. My planner was completely customizable from Perrongs. It just says teacher's planner on it. You can change the colour, and I actually got mine personalised with my name, so it says Miss Ross on it, and this was an absolute godsend during my probation year. It's obviously got a calendar, it's got your daily and weekly plans inside it, it's got checklists inside it, and it's also got a large section for notes. So I had pretty much all of the important information to get me through a week in here. But something I did actually end up investing in as well as this, a little desk or wall calendar. I think it's really good to have this physically on your table that you can quickly glance at if you want to make note of a date or if you want to keep an eye on an upcoming deadline. It just maybe jogs your memory a bit better than having to go through your planner. I've actually started using a digital planner now on my iPad, so I don't really have any need for a physical planner anymore, but I know that some people just prefer writing on paper, so again, it's just down to personal preference. But yeah, I would definitely say get yourself organised with a nice planner or a notebook or a diary. The next thing to buy as a new teacher is some rewards for your classroom. So you're going to have a think about what your reward system is going to be. I know I went around Poundland and lots of shops like that, and I filled a prize tin. I would have a star of the week, and that people could choose a prize out of the tin. I had all kinds of things like little slimes in there and stationery kits. It's good to stay informed about what the pupils are into at that time so that the prizes are really motivating for them. I've said it before and I will say it time and time again, but you really cannot go wrong with stickers. Whether it's younger pupils or older pupils as well, they absolutely love stickers. I've got so many different designs. I've kind of gathered my collection over the last few years. I've got superhero stickers, I've got emoji stickers. Some of them I've bought from primaryteachers.co.uk, some of them I've bought just from Amazon. I've been searching for something really specific. It's nice to have them in a range of different sizes. There is of course the classic smelly scratchy stickers that I absolutely loved when I was a kid. I probably would have done anything for one of those stickers. Something else I also have that I actually do not know for the life of me where I've put is some stampers. I've got personalised stampers with my own name on them. Some teachers like using them, others don't. I would definitely say invest in some little certificates or cards that can go home. It's just a really nice way to recognise people's achievement. Pupils are always so chuffed when you give them a certificate home. You might want to buy some birthday cards and have those on hand in case it is a pupil in your class's birthday. I actually bought a massive birthday cake hat for pupils to wear and these massive silly birthday shades, and that's something you're going to be able to use year in and year out. On the first week of school in the summer with my NQT class, I actually got the pupils to each design a birthday card that could be given to a pupil if it was their birthday. So that's, you know, an alternative if you don't want to buy in birthday cards for your class, and the pupils absolutely loved that. They loved seeing if it was someone's birthday which card they would choose. Those are just some little fun little reward cards and special event things. Number 6 is to source lots of games and books for your classroom. Charity shops and car boot sales are really good places to stock up on your classroom collection, but I know that during the summer I usually always see all of my probationer friends putting posts up on their Facebook asking friends and family if they have any items that they were maybe thinking of getting rid of. So definitely reach out to friends and family and people that you know to see if they have any items lying around. Especially in Scotland, we have a lot of wet playtimes and wet lunchtimes where the pupils are stuck inside and looking for things to do, so it can be really good to have a little collection of classroom toys and games that you're willing to let them use. But again, kind of linking to what I said earlier on, you've got to be really careful because things quite often get broken and lost. They also make an enormous mess, so think very carefully about what you're going to use in your classroom. I would definitely say that things like Lego and Connects are always a huge hit with most of the pupils in the class, so if you do have things like that, they can always be used, especially as a little bit of free play, maybe if they finish their work early or if they have some reward time. Card games are usually quite good ones. Connect 4 and chess are actually so popular with the pupils that I'm working with at the moment. Things like colouring books and little activity books that you can tear pages out of are really good for wet playtimes as well. The next item that you should buy for your classroom kind of goes hand in hand with buying books and games for your classroom, but something that was a big success in my classroom so far have been cushions. Whether you have a little cozy corner in your classroom or if you want some cushions for your library where pupils can sit and read a book quietly, cushions are a really good thing to have in your classroom to make it a bit more homey. I think I got this one from Dunelm. I really like all of the little quirky ones that are like movie characters and things like that. There are so many. There are donut cushions, baby Yoda cushions. Definitely get online and see what you can find. Most of the time they're a pretty affordable price as well, and they'll be able to be used over and over. You can obviously just bung them in the wash every now and again. Even if you don't have the space in your classroom for a little cozy corner, these can be really good in incentives. You can use them as a class reward. You know, the star of the week gets to choose a cushion to sit on their chair all week, or if they're sitting on the carpet, then they get to bring their cushion down. So it can work really well for, you know, any age group of children, and it's just something really fun to have, something that I was really excited to buy as a new teacher, and something you might not think about right away. Okay, I think this is number 8 now. So the 8th thing that I would say to buy as a new teacher is a nice new mug or a flask. You can get personalised water bottles with your name on them, like kind of Love Island style almost. I know that I absolutely love my Chili's bottle. It's one of those hydro flasks that keeps your water warm or cool for, I think it's about 12 hours. If you don't already have a favourite teacher mug, then you might want to invest in one, especially if you're going to be having teas and coffees in the staff room. It's nice to have a mug that is your go-to mug, and I feel like that's just a classic teacher item. Something that I bought at the start of my NQT year was an external hard drive for my laptop, just to store all of my items on and keep them all backed up. Obviously earlier on I talked about physical storage, you know, having storage bins to put all of your resources in, but another really good thing to have is some digital storage to be able to store different resources that you make on. And one of my biggest tips for NQTs and, you know, recently qualified teachers is to steal everything. It could be the school's planning document, it might be letters that you've had to make up for school trips and things like that. You never know, in the future you might be looking for these things again. It's really good just to save a copy of everything. Who knows, it might save you some time in the future, especially for things like class topics. You never know when you might be in a class in the future doing a similar topic and you might want to go back and see the resources that you made. You can reuse resources again and again. I like to save mine into different stages and curricular areas. I don't know what I'd do if I lost this, because this has everything on it. This is like a bank of my entire time at university and at school, so if you haven't already started saving your resources, then now is the time to do it. Alongside that, I did also buy some little pen drive USB drives, but I do know that some schools actually provide teachers with these, because it is really important that you keep any kind of sensitive data encrypted. But just for kind of day-to-day resources and things, it's completely fine to use these, especially if I'm making my resources on my laptop at home and bringing them into school. So I have a few different colours of these as well to keep me organised. And that ties in with my last suggestion, number 10, is to invest in some teacher subscription sites. Things like Twinkle are an absolute lifesaver, especially once you've graduated and you become a newly qualified teacher and you're going to be on an actual teacher salary. Then, you know, you can maybe afford to invest in some of these things that are going to save you lots of time and effort. Now, I know that some schools don't really agree with these because they do like teachers to use their own resources. I think it's important to point out not to completely rely on these sites, but they can be a really good starting point for planning and finding different resources. Some of the things that I use it for are display headings. It can be really good if you're looking for like a newspaper template and things like that. That was definitely a really good support for me as an NQT, and I would definitely recommend teachers to check it out. Obviously there are lots of free resource sites as well. TES and Teachers Pay Teachers are really good places to look. You can also kind of buy individual resources on there, which is quite good if there's something specific that you're looking for. Okay, and that is 10 items that I would suggest to buy as a new teacher. If you found this interesting or helpful, make sure you give this video a thumbs up so that I know to make more videos like this. If you have any requests for videos that you'd like to see, feel free to leave me a comment down below, because I really like hearing from you guys about the sorts of things you would like to watch. Obviously I did just narrow it down to 10 things, but if you would like to see more videos about this type of thing, then make sure you let me know. Subscribe to my channel for more teaching and lifestyle related content. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!